William Desmond Taylor was born William Cunningham Dean Tanner on April 26, 1872, and died on February 1st, 1922. William was an Anglo-Irish-American film director and actor, very popular figure in the growing Hollywood motion picture colony in the 1910s and early 1920s. William directed 59 silent films between 1914 and 1922, and acted in 27 films between 1913 and 1915. With an eventful life, William's life ended in an eventful and sad way.
Welcome to an all-new season of the True Crime Never Sleeps podcast. This season, we dive into the most horrific unsolved murders in history. From the Black Dahlia murder to the unsolved murder of the Lady of the Dunes. Join us every Tuesday on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform. As always, we thank you for listening.
Welcome to the True Crime Never Sleeps podcast, the podcast where I share true crime stories for your entertainment. Warning, you might lose some sleep after listening to some of these stories. I'm your host, Larry, and after reading about true crime stories, I condense all the content and bring valuable information to you. To stay up to date with all of our content, check us out on Twitter at TrueCrimeNS. Subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform, and catch us on YouTube. Just search True Crime Never Sleeps. This show is sponsored by Hunt-A-Killer and Poddex. Visit huntakiller.com and use the promo code TCNS for 20% off your first box. Or visit poddex.com and use promo code Larry21. That's LARRY 21 for 10% off your first purchase. It's a pleasure to have you here. Now let's get into today's episode. William Desmond Taylor, born William Cunningham Dean Tanner on April 26, 1872, and died on February 1st, 1922. William was an Anglo-Irish-American film actor and director, very popular figure in the growing Hollywood motion picture colony of the 1910s and early 1920s. William directed 59 silent films between 1914 and 1922, and acted in 27 films between 1913 and 1915. With an eventful life, William's life ended in an eventful and sad way. Now let's talk about his life. From 1885 to 1887, William attended Marlborough College in England. In 1891, he left Ireland for Dude Ranch in Kansas. There, he became reacquainted with acting and eventually moved to New York City. While in New York, William met Ethel May Hamilton, an actress who had appeared on the stage musical Florodora under the name Ethel May Harrison. Ethel's father was a broker and an investor in English antique stores on Fifth Avenue. The antique shop, which eventually employed William, the couple married in an Episcopal ceremony on December 7th, 1901, at the little church around the corner, and had a daughter, Ethel Daisy, in 1902 or 1903. William and his family were well known in New York society and were members of several clubs. He was also a heavy drinker, possibly suffered from depression, and was known to carry on affairs with women. Williams suddenly disappeared on October 23, 1908, deserting his wife and daughter. After his disappearance, friends said he had previously suffered mental lapses, and his family thought he had wandered off during an episode of amnesia. William's wife obtained a state decree of divorce in 1912. That comes to show us that just like several creative people, William suffered many personal problems. These problems were an issue that broke his family and kept him away from them. And now that we know about his background, let's get into the crime. It was an early Thursday morning around 7:30 a.m. on February 2nd, 1922. Taylor's body was found inside his small house in Westlake, Los Angeles, at a trendy and affluent neighborhood. A crowd had gathered inside, and someone identifying himself as a doctor stepped forward and made a cursory examination of the body and declared Taylor had died of a stomach hemorrhage. The doctor was never seen again. When doubts later arose, the body was rolled over by forensic investigators, revealing that the 49-year-old film director had been shot at least once in the back with what appeared to have been a small caliber pistol, which was not found at the scene. All of this sounds very weird. Why would the doctor declare him dead for another reason other than a gunshot? Who was this doctor? What was the doctor doing around the scene? Who were all the other people? These are simple questions that the police still have no answer. During the investigation, many items were found in Taylor's pockets. Upon searching, they found a wallet holding $78 in cash, a silver cigarette case, a Waltham pocket watch, a penknife, and a locket bearing a photograph of actress Mabel Normand. A 2-carat diamond ring was on his finger. With the evidence of the money and valuables on Taylor's body, robbery did not seem like the motive for the killing. However, a large but undetermined sum of cash that Taylor had shown to his accountant the day before was missing, and apparently never accounted for. After some investigation, the time of Taylor's death was set at 7:50 p.m. on the evening of February 1st, 1922. The case hit the news during that time. He was rarely well known in the industry, and people had various opinions about him. It was common sense that he would get delusional sometimes, and that might have hurt some people. None was a reason to kill him, though. There were over 5 suspects of the crime, but through a combination of poor crime scene management, corruption, and much physical evidence immediately lost, and the rest vanished over the years, although copies of a few documents from the police files were made public in 2007. Various theories were put forward after the murder, and in the years since, many books were published, claiming to have identified the murderer, but no conclusive evidence has ever been uncovered in linking the crime to any particular individual. This comes to show that someone really wanted him dead and had the perfect plan to make it happen, because the case is still unsolved. And that's a wrap for today's episode. Let us know your thoughts on this case. What do you think happened to William Desmond Taylor? Who do you think murdered him? Let us know on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the True Crime Never Sleeps podcast. Follow us on Twitter at TrueCrimeNS. Like us on Facebook at True Crime Never Sleeps. Send us a voice message at anchor.fm/truecrimeneversleeps/message. Tune in next week for an all-new episode.